Hi guys, how's it going? Um, Today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to paint a dripping watercolor cake. And by dripping I mean, the fancy cakes that have like the drip from the top, which make it look so tempting and scrumptious. So I've already drawn the cake and I've added some flowers because obviously it wouldn't be one of my tutorials if there weren't flowers involved. And cake is my absolute favorite. In fact, what I should have done was I should have put this out last week since it was my birthday month. And now we're into June, but that's fine. Never late than never. What? Sorry. Better late than never, not never late than never. All right. So I just drew a very simple cake with a stand and then just sort of put the outlines of some flowers on the top just to sort of give me an idea of what is going where. And so really this shouldn't take too long. So let's just get started. I've decided I'm going to do the cake as a pink at the bottom right here, and then I will sort of slowly give the cake itself a watercolor look and feel, and then as it goes higher, I think the dripping, I want that to be chocolate, so I'm just going to start with that first. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the silver black velvet brushes, and I'll be using the 4 and the 8 again, since those are my go-to favorites. And so what I start off with is a very light brush and color, and just put in wash. And again, like, you want to go very roughly. It's not important that you cover every area. It's fine if you don't get to cover all the areas and you leave some white space. That's totally okay. I'm just going to do this. And I'll bring the strokes down because I have a bit of pinky purpley going on in there, so I want that to be at the bottom of the cake, not at the top. So I'll bring the strokes down and then just have that accumulate at the very bottom, like so. And then I'm going to go into the pink, and I'm just going to dab around in different areas. From the sides. And just put it in. I've taken another pinky red, and I'm going to have that blend in as well. And then catch this area before it gets too dry while the ink is still nice and damp. Oops, almost knocked over my water there. I'm just going to keep on dabbing. Even put in perhaps a little bit of purple. Mix that in with the pink some more. And then just watch it nicely blend with all the colors. Like, this is why I love doing, well, ever since I did that cake last week. I don't know if you saw it. I did a time lapse of a cake, and it was just so much fun doing it. It was so easy. It was quick. And just to watch the colors kind of blend into each other was very, what's the word? Relaxing. And so I said, I have to do this again, and I have to do a tutorial so everyone else can learn how to do it too. Here we go. I'm just touching it up a bit. Actually, it doesn't even need to be touched up. Honestly, you can just let it go. But we all know I have issues about letting things go. So, okay, so now I'm going to do the bottom of the base. And because the pink is going on here and I want that to be chocolate, I think the base, I'm going to go for a turquoisey blue. Now, if I can create that turquoise blue, let's see, because I am using St. Petersburg White Knights, and as you know, the turquoise blue isn't quite included in this. So let's see if I can make one. I might be able to, I might not, and if I make something a little more green, I guess it's okay. Okay, that's not too bad. What do you guys think? I just mixed in one of the blues with some of the green and kind of gave it a fairly decent blue, I would say, like a lighter blue. And again, if you keep the white space in between, that's totally fine. It might even be a nice thing to do. And then I'm just going to very lightly do like a trace from outside the cake, because I don't want it to touch the cake. I'm going to leave like almost like a white outline around the base of the cake. All right, and we'll do this. And now I'm just going to take away all the blue and dab my brush on a cloth or a tissue paper just to dry it up a bit. And then I'm just going to go over in strokes this way, just to give it that look. And the white lines almost looks like white lines are in there. Negative space, that's the right word. The correct terminology is negative space. I'm just going to go to the edges and put a little bit darker blue for shadow, kind of highlight. I'll do that at the edge as well. Now this is a little bit green, and that's okay with me. It might not be okay with you. For me, I'm okay with it because I like the whole blending of the colors, and it makes for an interesting look. But you might want to be a little more precise. That's up to you. There we go. I think this is good. I'm just going to go in with a little more blue. The edge here. And put some in there as well, so it picks up more of the blue than the green. There we go. All right, so that's that. And now I'm going to dilute the color on my brush by a lot and just have this come down. Again, I'm going to give it like as much white as I can. I don't want to infiltrate the whole area with the blue. It's kind of nice to give it that light and shadow effect. And just like a hint of an outline, almost like suggested outline. Again, this is being a little more green than blue, so I'm mixing some of the blues in here. And I guess keep dabbing until you're pleased with the color and the blending and the outcome of it all. And then just like the top, we're just going to do light strokes. And I'm going to tell myself to let it go, because I can see myself getting to the point of no return by just nitpicking on these little areas. Let's see if I can actually let it go. Nope, not letting it go still. All right, now I'm just going to let it go because I think that's enough. And by this time, I think the top area of the cake has dried up enough that we can go in with our deep brown for a chocolate look. In fact, actually, before doing that, I think I'll tackle the flowers first, and then we can go in with the brown after. So I'm going to start off with the flowers. So let's see, colors for flowers. Let's start off with a yellow orange. So I'm just going to mix those colors right now really quickly. Actually, I'm going to add a little more orange into it. And I will do that right there. It's a little too bright in my opinion, so I'm just going to go in there with that, and then just take a something like that. Then I will do a deep red for the flower on the side. But before I do that, let me just dip it in some yellow. So we get the center first, like I always like to start. And then see, I saturated the brush in the pink red first, and then just using the tip, I just dipped it into the yellow, and so now I'm getting this like gradient effect, which is also very, very nice. And I don't want to move this too much because you can see Otherwise it's going to show up differently on the video. So let's hope it doesn't mess up too much. That's not too bad. All right, then I'm just going to dip my brush in water again and just get a little bit of pink and go over on the top. The flowers. And I can hear my daughter coming in. Sorry, I had to pause that because my daughter came in and she was yelling, but here we go. So I didn't realize I started painting some of the leaves, but yeah, I pretty much used a very light yellowy green for the top and then just went in a little bit darker here, and I'm just using the same green that I have there over here. And just going to do the leaves that we have going on. And I just love this little like tendril almost, which makes it look so cute and delicate. And obviously to get something like this, you need to have a very, very thin brush, kind of like the 4 that I'm using. And otherwise it kind of messes things up. So I'm just going to also do some buds over here, but first, since I have the green going on my brush already, I'm just going to go ahead and do this last bit. And you got to have a steady hand for these things. There we go. I put in a little bit of yellow again. And we're almost done here. All right, and now I'm going to use the same brush, clean it up nicely, and then go back to the pinks that I did with the flowers in the top and just add some over there. Just so it doesn't look very abrupt, like there's no other pink flowers anywhere else. And I should do some of the orange as well. So the orange, I'm just going to do something very lightly here. And then a hint probably over here. Just like a very slight hint. You don't want to overdo it because we already have so much color going on at the bottom, so it's okay if you kind of let it go. All right, so that's the easy bit at the top. And now we're going to do the final touch, which is the chocolate. So again, for that, I'm going to use the number 4 that I have going on and try and get a nice brown. The White Nights has, I think, 3 or 4 different browns, and they're all pretty nice. So that's no issue at all, really. But, oh, sorry, the table is shaking. just go in and outline. So rule of thumb here is I want to be light on the top, dark at the bottom. So it literally looks like everything's dripping. And so I'm going to try to do that as best as I can. There we go. I'm really concentrating here, guys. So if I'm super quiet, it's because I'm enjoying this process and really focused. Dipped in for more color. The edges are, I think, you need to have the most control, just so it doesn't mess up. Here we go. But that was the last bit of it. And now I want the drips to be darker. So I'm just gonna go in with the most saturated brown. And then leave a darker brown at the bottom, like that. Same thing here. After all, it is a rich chocolate. I don't know, chocolate was always my favorite. Growing up, I always had chocolate cake for my birthday. Chocolate everything, really. But now I think as I'm older and wiser, there's selective chocolate that I like. I think my favorite is Ritter Sport, the German chocolatier. And then obviously Lindt, because Lindt is like so common over here. Plus there is a Lindt factory outlet right by my place, which is terrible for me, but I do believe in the whole principle of out of sight, out of mind. So I don't bring it home, and if I do bring it home, it's not out in the open, so I don't see it. And then that works for me, because then I don't crave it. All right, guys. Okay, so I'm not going to overdo that bit. So that's that. So that is done. And now, obviously, the bottom of that is also chocolate. So the way that works out is we're going to do this whole light and dark sort of thing that we've been doing, light and shadow. And so I'm going to go in with a very, very muted brown. And again, just very lightly, making sure that there are blotches of white space in there so it doesn't look weird, because obviously you cannot go into every nook and cranny to get this, but you can blend it. And that is a plus because you can make it work. So you blend it something like that. So now going in at the top, I'm just going to take darker browns and just have that color blend down. Like so. All right. Okay, guys, so this is what the cake looks like. I hope you guys had fun doing this. Please do, if you have any questions, please mention them in the comments below, and any other suggestions as well. I am happy to have them. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.